Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. Need an orthopedist? Go to Brock. Need a roof? Call Parish. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. Code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15. Hold, please. For 15% off your order. That should work now. Always confuses me when I don't change any setting on my StreamYard and then it's not connected to my mic. Last night I did Locked On. It was connected to my mic. Anyway, okay, good morning, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us here. A disappointing day for Tiger baseball. They blow a lead in the eighth. Just an implosion, 3-run eighth. And they dropped the series to Oklahoma. Recapped it on Locked On LSU yesterday afterwards. Just super disappointing, man. You had some big moments from Schmidt and Guidry to get out of jams. Schmidt in the top third, after an infield single, which was basically a swinging bunt. Walk, the bases were loaded. He goes strikeout to get out of it. It was awesome. In the fourth, 2 on, 2 out. He gets the big strikeout to get out of that inning. Guidry comes on, inherits 2 runners in the fifth, goes strikeout, line out, ground out to get out of it. I mean, they had some huge moments, really bearing down, making big pitches. And even though the offense only managed 4 hits, you were leading 3-1 in the eighth. I mean, you're up 2 in the eighth. You're 6 outs away. And Guidry leads off the eighth with a 4-pitch walk, single, sack bunt. It's 3-2. And then Sheeran comes in and hits a guy on a 1-2 count. Rucker boots a tailor-made ground ball double play, would have gotten you out of the inning. Sack fly, and just like that, you're losing. So that's a bummer, man. I mean, it counts as 1, right? And they all count the same in league play. It doesn't matter if it's a home game against South Carolina on a Saturday or it's a road game at Ole Miss or Vanderbilt or whatever. They all count the same. So, but it is really disappointing that you're 2-4 when you blew a lead in the ninth last Friday against Vanderbilt. And now you've blown a lead in the eighth at home against South Carolina, or against Oklahoma. I mean, you're that close to being 4-2, and our conversation about this team is dramatically different if that's the case. But you are what you are, and they cannot really figure out how to win games. It's like that sliding scale. Last week against Vanderbilt, the offense was really good. Pitching did not show up. This weekend, pitching was awesome. Over 3 games, you allowed 9 runs over 3 games, but couldn't hit. So that's how you end up losing a home weekend that you really needed to win. So, Kim Mulkey squad, ladies play today. Gymnastics finished 3rd at the SEC meet yesterday. 2 o'clock ABC today is the women's game, LSU Texas Tech. So, okay. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post, say some good mornings. Appreciate y'all for hanging. Hey, Jacob, good morning. Corey, Thomas, let's go. 93. Bob, good morning. Any available interviews with players lately? No, tomorrow's going to be interesting though, Bob. So tomorrow's pro day out at LSU, and then Tuesday they start spring practice. So we will this week start to have media availability for football. So be it lane, player availability, whatever it may be. We will start to have some of that this week, so I'm excited about that. Start getting into some more football talk. Hey, Howard. Good morning. Team Drew, thank you so much. Hey, Phil. Good morning. Hope Erica's feeling better. You and Drew don't catch it. Have a great day. Thanks, man. Yeah, I think we're in the clear. I mean, Erica was, when she was, sick, it was Thursday. So, I mean, I think we're good. So, but yeah, but thanks, man. I appreciate it. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what she had. I mean, it was a little bug apparently that went around the office because several of the folks in her office had the same thing. But we're all right. Hey, Dwayne, tough loss for sure. Jesse, good morning. Good luck to the women's basketball team today. So yesterday, if you caught the brief show we did out at Buddy Walk, later in the day, the Texas Tech cheerleaders came up to me because so Texas Tech played on Friday, they had a day off Saturday, and then game today, so they just had a day around Baton Rouge. So this group of five or six Texas Tech cheerleaders um, just found the Buddy Walk. I mean, just found this big event going on downtown. And so they came up and one of the guys was like, "Hey man, could I go on stage and do a flip?" I'm like, "I don't care. Just don't make me regret this decision." So I called him up there and he did one of his like 360 flip twist things. And like, that's pretty cool. I was like, but I wish you no luck in the game. Hey Jay. Sorry, that's F1 DG. Jay consistently left pitchers too long, gave terrible situations to relief. It was only a matter of time till one did go away. I don't really agree with that at all. Um, I don't. That's such an easy thing to say in hindsight, and I disagree with that completely. So Schmidt was at 83 pitches after the fourth and got a strikeout to end it with two on. He goes out in the fifth and gave up two weak singles, and they pulled him. So, I mean, he got a strikeout to end the inning before. He was still holding his velo. I don't think that was too soon. Again, it's easy to say in hindsight, but what if they had left it? Like, I really think the only reason Ben McDonald said on the broadcast, the reason they pulled him in that moment, probably because his pitch count was up near 90. And so otherwise it probably lets him, or if it's not a 3 or a 2, it's 2-1 at that point. At that, because Stanfield hadn't homered, it was 2-1. If LSU's up 4-1 or 5-1, like, then he's probably still pitching to get out of that moment. They go to Guidry. And then in the eighth, Guidry walked the guy on 4 pitches and then went single. Both of those were weak singles. But even still, you had matchups that you wanted in that situation where you had a breaking ball righty in the game. So I didn't hate that. And then leaving him in for the bunt, I thought Ben McDonald did a good job explaining that. You were hoping that with Guidry, he would feel the position and maybe get it out at third, being a former shortstop. He'd have a better chance at making the play. So I don't know, man. I understand your frustration. I also think that hindsight's 2020 with those things. Like, and I say it all the time with baseball. Anyone that listens to or usually hangs out here with baseball, like, as long as you have, like, baseball is a game of failure. You fail 70% of the time as a hitter, you're in the Hall of Fame. So baseball is a game of failure. As long as you have sound logic for the decision you made, then I can live with the result. I don't have to agree with the decision, but I can live with the result. And I don't have any problem with how they handled the pitching yesterday. Morning, how was it yesterday? You've been going to a lot of events recently. Yeah, the what's that time of year, man? So, and then like next week, Friday is the St. James soiree that I'm emceeing, and then Saturday is the event for Drew's school, Cheers for Children, that I'm doing the auction for that. So, yes, it is that time of year where I've got something pretty much every weekend. But yeah, but no, Buddy Walk's a great event. I would always recommend that to people. Whether you have someone with Down syndrome in your family or know someone or not, I think it's just a great event. And they've done a great job. Everything's free. So your DSAG Down Syndrome Awareness Group does an amazing job. Like, everything's free. So they have tons of food vendors and like snowballs for the kids and face painting and they have a DJ, but then they have live. They had a band yesterday, Pants Party. It was a lot of fun. They're a party band, so they played the second half of the day. Uh, we've been blessed with beautiful weather. There's jumps with the kids. There's this guy comes does this dino show with this big old mechanical dinosaur that walks around and stuff. Anyway, all that to say, it's a really great event. Like, and it's a free event. So bring a tent and bring your family and just go hang out on that Saturday and enjoy a beautiful morning. Hey Christian, do you think Jay continues defensive replacement at second? If so, with who? I mean, man, I really hate it for Ruckert, but the reality is, like, that's no less than 3 times he's been in the game as defensive replacement and committed a big error. I mean, last week against Vanderbilt, he booted a ground ball, and the next hitter clubbed a 3-run homer. Yesterday, that error, I mean, Sheeran made the pitch. I mean, he got him to roll over a grounder to second base to your defensive replacement, and he boots the ball. And not only did he not get the double play, he didn't even get the out at first. And so then the next hitter was a sac fly. I mean, if you had gotten the out at first, the sac fly doesn't score a run. That's the last out of the inning. You're tied at 3 instead of down 4-3. So, I mean, I think Klaus would be next up. Another freshman. He's a shortstop, but he's an elite glove, and I think he deserves a shot. And it pains me, man. Like, I'm pulling for Jack, and I think Jack's going to have a great career at LSU. He's a great player. I mean, he's one of the best players in the state last year, and he's going to be fine. He's going to be really good. But how do you justify keep running him out there as defensive replacement when he's made some big errors? I think you got to give Klaus a shot. Jesse, thoughts on Coach Maneri out at South Carolina? My bigger question is why Paul Maneri took that job to begin with. I think very highly of Paul Maneri. He was great to cover in the years he was here. I think the world of him both personally and professionally. That was a really tough job to take. That is a place that has huge expectations because of their past, but don't necessarily have the have not consistently had the resource buy-in. He's had some bad luck with injuries, no doubt. But a few injuries could keep you from being a contender. It shouldn't keep you from being competitive in any way. So I'm not surprised. That, again, the thing that surprised me was that he took that job. Not, again, I know Paul he did not want to be done at LSU. That was sort of a forced retirement, right? Like a retire or we're going to make a change. But that's not the job. So I'm not surprised he coached again. I'm surprised he took that job. Morning, Matt, from my bed. Today's my birthday. All I want is for my wife to get the flavor cake I want, chocolate, versus what the kid wants, gummy bear Skittle surprise. You know what, Steven? It is your day. And if you want a chocolate cake, you should get a chocolate cake. And if the kids want the gummy bear Skittle surprise, okay, then there should be 2 cakes because it's your day and you should have the cake you want. And I would tell the kids, hey, we're having chocolate cake because that's what Dad wants. So zip it. You can have a gummy bear Skittle surprise cake on your birthday. But cheers. Hope you have a great day, man. Happy birthday. I think there's been a big enough sample size to say LSU baseball team is average. I think there's a big difference between what you are today and what you can become in baseball. That's what so many people lose sight of. They're 2-4. So you are what your record says you are, right? But what if Guidry gets a fly ball instead of gives up a home run against Vanderbilt? And what if Ruckert turns that double play and you're 4-2? What are you saying today? You're saying man, it hasn't been great, but they're 4-2 and they show great resolve and blah, 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 blah. They're getting better and blah. That's what you're saying. I think um, there's things. Now here's the real devastating piece of this weekend is so Jay said Cooper Moore is going to be out probably a month. That is a really tough blow. Because my guess is now you move Schmidt to Saturday and Sunday becomes a TBD. You could start Guidry, but then you lose a real key bullet out of the bullpen. Say the same for Cowan. I know coming into this year, they were hoping Cooper Williams would emerge as a rotation guy because they wanted a lefty. And that just hasn't materialized. Maybe they give him a chance, or maybe Santiago Garcia, who they extended this weekend, gets that opportunity. I don't know, but that's the really, really tough part from this weekend is losing Cooper Moore, because while your offense went in a deep freeze this weekend against a good pitching staff and a noted pitching guy. I mean, Skip Johnson's forte is pitching. Your pitching was awesome. You gave up 9 runs in 3 games. You lost the series, but you gave up 9 runs in 3 games. That's going to win most weekends for you in the SEC. But now you take Cooper Moore out of that equation for a month, and what does that do? That's a bummer. Hey, Mike, good morning. Hope all's well. Watched the game yesterday. Frustrating. We're close to being 4-2. True. It is a long season. Losing Cooper Moore does hurt. Any word if media would be a lot of practice? So we are supposed to we got a notification that they're sending today the practice schedule and media availability. So I haven't gotten it yet, but at some point today, they'll send it to us. As I mentioned, tomorrow is pro day, and then they start practice on Tuesday. So I do plan for Locked On to have today a comprehensive spring preview episode for Locked On. I'm going to drop that today. Hey, Corey, crazy about pulmonary. It's really not that crazy that they let him go. I mean, they're atrocious. And they actually were really competitive yesterday without him. So, yeah, Chris, I think let's see, the line today is LSU 25.5. So LSU is a massive favorite in this one again. Next, provided they win, which I assume they will, next week is when they'll get to in the Sweet 16, when they'll get to the more competitive games. So. Vigo, what's up, man? Good morning. How's your bracket? Let me see. I think I'm doing pretty good. Let's see, log in. I am. Where are the standings on this thing? Oh, here we go, leaders. Boom. How many points do I have? I'm in there. Scone. Let's see. My stats. Here we go. Let's see. I've gotten 33 out of 40 picks correct, 82%. I'm 14th out of 340 people in our bracket challenge. How about that? 14th, doing pretty good. I wonder if let's see. There's a guy named Higher Wade. There I am, Scone. All right. Sweet. I probably should have done this while I was doing that. All right, Thomas, here we go. Let's check the box.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
All right. What a day. Friday, we're going to get to draw for $25,000. Entries are closed. And Friday, but this coming Friday, because the rule is you have to have the roof inspection performed to be in the drawing. So, hi, come Morgan. Hey, come here. Come see that show. That your cup? You want to go that your cup? Okay. Say hi to that show. Oh my goodness. What do you say? What do you say?
Hi, Dad. Show.
Okay. What you got on your jammies?
Would you me
Yep. What's on there?
Can you say good morning?
Good morning.
I see reindeer and Christmas trees and skis on there and ice skates.
I did it.
Ice skates, Erica.
Yeah.
Ice skates, Erica. Where you're on camera.
No.
Okay, no, you're. Hey, did you sleep so good?
Yes.
Yeah, I love you so much. I love you so much.
Yes.
Yes. What do you say?
Hi.
What do you say?
Have a good day.
Dad, when Daddy says I love you so much, what do you say?
I love you.
I love you, Daddy.
Love you, Daddy.
Okay, Drew. Okay. Hey, where are we going to go today after church?
Mom, Daddy, go to
Go to the mall.
Daddy, go.
Go church, Erica. And then go to the mall? Huh?
Daddy, go to
Okay. So, are you so happy?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you sleep so good?
It's so good.
You sleep so good, Erica? Do you like saying mommy's name like that?
Good.
Erica? Yeah, me too. Okay. I can't reach my screen.
Let's read the screen,
Reach your screen, Erica. If I can reach it like this. There we go. That's better. I was trying to protect you so you can bang your knees on the bottom of the desk. Let's see. Tiger Poppy said, good morning, Team Drew. Brant, Self-Faith and Jay. Team better not go 3-12. No Cooper Moore and a really tough stretch coming. Better find a way to get that series next week against Kentucky. Series against Kentucky, Erica. Hear that, Erica? Women's basketball gets the win, make Tiger Nation feel better. Baseball series loss. The women finished third in the SEC gym meet. I'm pretty confident the LSU women's basketball team is going to get this done today. 25.5-point favorites. They should be fine. Not questioning anything Jay does this season. Listen, I don't think no coach is infallible. What up, Jay?
Erica.
Erica.
We're good. We're good.
Hey, where did we go yesterday? You want to tell everybody?
We'll
Where did we go yesterday?
go to Rockets, Erica.
Go to Ruckus, Erica? We did go to Ruckus, didn't we? Did you just keep opening the door to hear the chime over and over again? Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Okay,
You just kept opening the door 100 times just to hear the chime. I'm like, okay, guys, I'm sorry. I had to spend half our time there just cutting him off at the pass to prevent him from getting to the door. Huh?
Get it.
What?
Go to Tamakuka. Time to go.
Time to go. Time to go, Erica. See, why don't you speak normally like that in your beautiful talking voice?
Tamakuka. Do you say it?
Huh?
Hey, come see. You want to see? You come see? You see mommy?
No, he's hanging out with Daddy on Dad's show.
Tamakuka.
Go, Erica.
Do you
David, Tigers on the struggle bus.
Do you say it?
Time to go, Erica. Jay primarily handles the hitters. And listen, we've gone through this, and I know this is not something people want to hear, but like, no, there's a couple things wrong with the offense. Number one is you missed on your transfers. You missed on York and Simpson and Dardar, guys, Caraway, guys you were counting on to be bats for you. You missed. You missed on these guys. At least as of now. Time to go, Erica.
Oh, iPad.
Yeah. Looks like Drew. And then the flip side of it is guys that have been really significant for you in the past aren't performing very well. Milam and Curiel at the top of the list. Now, y'all have heard me say this about Curiel plenty. And again, like I just know more about this, not because I'm smart or but because I have a lot of friends who are scouts. And I'm telling you, Curiel, and you're seeing it, a lot of the rankings now, is sliding. And I think he is chasing Jake Brown's production because from Curiel's perspective, the thing he has to show is the ability to hit with power. It's the tool he does not possess right now. And so you're seeing, and I have seen a lot of advanced analytics on this, you're seeing on his spray chart relative to what he did last year, where his primary focus was middle away on a line, where he was hitting singles and doubles down the line. Now he is elevating the baseball. He is way out in front. He's striking out. He's popping up because he's trying to hit the ball in the air. He's trying to hit doubles and homers. And that's not his game. And that's not what LSU needs him to do. LSU needs him to get on base. And that's been a challenge, man. I mean, so if they can get these guys to play a more team-oriented concept of baseball, I think having Stanfield back has been huge for that. How about Stanfield? I mean, you realize Stanfield and Curiel have the same number of homers on the season? And look, Curiel's hitting 323. I'm not saying he's had a bad season at all. He's at 323, which I mean, he and Brown are the only ones hitting 300 in the lineup. But you look at the strikeout numbers, Aaron Beatty, 26, York, 22, Curiel, 18. I mean, 18 strikeouts for Derek Curiel is alarming. And he's walked 16 times. I mean, he's struck out more than he's walked. That's not Derek Curiel's game. So, anyway, it was all David asked if they got a new hitting coach from last year. No, they didn't. And Jay primarily works with the hitters, and Wanaka's there as well. The guy they call Chief. And I mean, so no, but it's more having guys that go into the box with a team-oriented approach. And you're just not doing that. Let's see. Morning, Matt. Great to see you Stan to get the long ball, making the trip to the box Tuesday to support the Tigers. Love that. You sound like Michael Jordan. And I took that personally. Let's see. I guess I respectfully disagree, less so about leaving Schmidt in, but Guidry was fading the seventh. Clean inning to your reliever was worth more than gambling on a fading pitcher at 70-plus pitches. Let's see. We sometimes RV. Good morning, Matt. Team Drew. Hope Eric is feeling better. Tigers started the season with a bang. Wheels seem to be coming loose. Tommy, buenos dias. Jeffrey, good morning. Can we find a second baseman? I mean, if they want to leave Carraway in there to see if he starts hitting, that's fine. But at this point, I'm more inclined to say give Klaus an opportunity. If it gives you a glove in the middle infield so you can start turning more double plays, I would do that and sacrifice the bat. Like, if you're not going to hit, then you need to be elite pitching and defense. And right now, they're not elite at any of them. Now, they pitched it really well this weekend. And the outfield, I think, is great defensively. And Milam is incredible defensively. I mean, the play Milam made in I think it was in the top of the seventh, deep in the hole, was to get out of the inning for the third out was amazing. I mean, but like Cerna, for example, you played it first yesterday. Well, on the ball that Rucker kicked, Cerna didn't stretch at all. That was the play. It was bang, bang. They reviewed it, and he was safe at first. Like, Cerna has to extend. You have to stretch. You're 6'2". Stretch and get close to the ball. The error that went on Brown when he was throwing back into the infield, Cerna was the cutoff and didn't go get the ball. This guy's never played first base. So, but again, he's in there for his bat. So teach him first base. But as long as he's hitting, he's never coming out of the lineup. Whether it's first, DH, catching, whatever. Ryan, love York. Concerned moved to first is why we were even in that game. Yes, that's why. Like, listen, y'all. I've been saying this. Cerna's not coming out of the lineup again. Like, last year, all season, I banged the drum about Jake Brown, and I was right. You can all admit it now that I was right. And I'm telling you, it's the same thing with Cerna. It's you. If your veteran with the lower ceiling is not performing close to that ceiling, then put in the young guy with a much higher ceiling and let them. You're going to take some growing pains, like the error Cerna committed yesterday, not cutting off the ball that Brown threw in. Okay, like, I'll live with that because he exactly, I think, with who was it? What Ryan just said, because he clubbed a 2-run homer, and it's why you're in the game. So I'll take that error because I can teach him that. What you can't teach is someone how to club a 2-run homer that clears the bleachers. Hey, Lewis. Jay left Guidry in too long. Go back, look, see the inning before. Ben said on the broadcast, velocity was down. The velocity was down that final inning when they pulled him. And I really don't even care about velo. Like, that's not necessarily the thing that I'm worried about. I'm more worried about location, and Guidry was still locating. The 4-pitch walk in the top of the eighth was not great. But neither of the singles he allowed after that were hard hit balls. So Brad, frustrated, not that the team is underperforming. We all know that. Doesn't seem like there's any emotion. Is there leadership on the team? Yeah, man. I know that's something we talked about. Like, the guys that you would hope would be your leaders, Milam, Curiel, Brown, are not the vocal guys. We talked about that weeks ago when they were in that tough stretch where they lost 6 of 8 or whatever it was. Like, Guidry is really good at getting himself motivated, but it's really tough for a pitcher who doesn't throw, someone who's not playing every day to be that vocal guy. So Tough, man. In a tough spot. Thomas, Brad. South Carolina's a bad baseball job because you're in the toughest league in America. They won in a previous era, so fans expect them to win at that level, go to Omaha, but they are not committed to doing so. And you could say that, when you talk about resources, look, I know like last week there was this, we even published it at LouisianaSports.net. The investment into baseball, the baseball budget for the SEC schools. And South Carolina's baseball budget was a big baseball budget, but a big part of that is your coaching staff because they were paying Paul Maneri. So there just isn't the total investment and buy-in to be great in baseball. I think, like similar to here, women's basketball, which has won national titles there, gets a bigger chunk of the investment and the attention because they win. All the games have been competitive. Need a luck turning around. How do you keep getting it right? Brown last year, Cerna this year. Jeffrey, because I have eyes. I mean, it's not. Thank you for saying that, because some people don't want to acknowledge that I was right, which is okay. But like, it doesn't. It's not like. Well, first of all, I've told you a million times, I have a lot of friends that are scouts that are very smart baseball people that all they do is live at ballparks, and I have these conversations with them all the time. And it's not hard to see with Brown. Like, Brown is 6'2", 205. He hits with power to all fields. He's the fastest guy on the team. He's the best athlete on the team. He's an elite club. He's all these things. Like, that was not hard to see. Like, you put Brown next to Pearson, and there's no comp. Pearson was a program guy who loved LSU and played hard, had some big moments in his career. But Jake Brown is a future big leaguer. Josh Pearson's not playing baseball anymore. Like, what are we doing? You wouldn't bench Leonard Fournette for a walk-on who's from Louisiana and loved LSU. Like, that's Leonard Fournette. You know what I mean? I'll say the same with Cerna. It's like, you can see he's generally the last tool to develop is power. Cerna, as an 18-year-old, maybe he's 19, I don't know, but he's already got it. I mean, he has elite power to all fields. Like, he's got to be in the lineup, especially in this day and age in baseball, where analytics say you'll take 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts if the one is a 3-run homer. And it's what now Cerna didn't strike out yesterday 3 times, but he gave you the 2-run homer, which gave you the lead and almost paced you to a win. Did y'all see the atmosphere in Stark Vegas? Yeah. It's going to be bonkers when LSU's there on Super Bulldog weekend. Hey, Kelly, good morning. Mark, good morning. Kevin, little luck, need to play better. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't agree with the luck thing. I mean, now the injury to Cooper Moore is just that's a stroke of bad luck. The ground ball in the 8th to your defensive replacement, like, that's not bad luck. That's, you either made a bad decision, put the wrong person there, didn't execute right. I mean, but again, like, go back to the thing I said where, like, if the decision you made, if you have sound logic with the decision you made, I can live with the result. Well, in that moment, like, I'm not going to crush Jay for putting in a defensive replacement at second base because it's exactly what you wanted. Like, you put in a guy who's a better defender at second base. You get a tailor-made ground ball double play. So you can say what you want, but, like, Sheeran made the pitch. I mean, it's a 1-2 pitch, and you got to roll over a ball to second base. I mean, it's tailor-made ground ball double play. You're out of the inning, and you're out of the inning still with a 3-2 lead. If Ruckert makes that play, again, I'm not putting the loss on Jack Ruckert. You had 4 hits as a team. Okay, you had 4 friggin' hits. The loss isn't on Jack. That's just a big moment where If he makes that play, you're out of the 8th, and then you're 3 outs with a lead, and you're 3 outs away from a win. Is Lane having a spring game? The spring game is set for April 24th. I don't know the format. I know, like at Ole Miss, they did like a dunk contest and stuff. That's probably what he'll do. Braden, what up, man? Send you a text about an event my fraternity is putting on where all donations benefit St. Lillian's. Awesome, dude. Love that. Thank you so much. I'll be sure to check it. Thanks, Braden. Appreciate you, man. Let's see. If I'm Carolina, I'm going to get Cannizzaro. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know if Andy wants to coach college again. I don't know. Morning, Matt. Let's get a good basketball win today. I'm here for it. Hey, Ben, good morning. I took Luis Hernandez defense for granted last year. He steadied that thing last year, and he was not elite at all defensively, but he steadied them. Yaman's another one you could play at first for DH. Vigo, I'm just going to thank you, man. Hey, Dad, good morning. Clayton, bigger question, how's your mom's bracket? I'll need to ask Mama Scone how she's doing now. Mama Scone had Gonzaga, I think, going to the Final Four. So that's devastating for Mama Scone. Yeah, Ryan, this should be up. I'll text Jimmy. Well, let me text him right now. I'll text him right now. Otter. All right, just texted Jimmy. We'll get those up at LouisianaSports.net. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hey, Sage, good morning. MLB draft positions are diving, lots of money being lost. Not for Jake Brown. Jake Brown's going the other way. Like if you looked at perfect games rank, Jake Brown is past Derek Curiel, which, by the way, I don't know. Do you remember a couple weeks ago, there was a guy here when I said, I'll bet you Jake Brown gets drafted higher than Derek Curiel. And he said, I'll take the bet. And do y'all remember that? I'm not going to find the episode. But hopefully that person, if they're watching, will show up. Let's see. Moscone's proving he knows ball. The thing is, like, Erica will tell you this. I watch more baseball probably than any other sport. So I watch every LSU game, and I watch I'm not going to tell you watch all 162 Yankee games. Because a lot of times day games I'm not going to be able to watch. But let's say I watch 100 Major League games a year. I watch a lot of baseball. Thomas, there it is. 93 down. Team Drew. Bob the Builder. Okay. I'm familiar with that Bob the Builder is a thing. I don't really know anything about Bob the Builder, what he sounds like or what he does. Dwayne, what up? What up, G? Oh, here's all the Drew ones. Appreciate y'all. Hey, Bryce, good morning. Robbie, what up? Good morning. That'd be an interesting one. I'll just never think about Coastal's coach without. I mean, so Coastal's coach was Gary Gilmore, right? Who retired. He's the one that won the national championship in 2016, beating, incidentally, Jay Johnson's Arizona team. And he was replaced by Kevin Schnall. And Schnall is the guy who was ejected from the College World Series championship game last year at the beginning of the game. So I will just always think of Kevin Schnall for that. But not a bad pick. Let's see what up. Gee, Robbie, manager brackets group. No, my bracket's doing pretty good, man. I'm 13th in the or 14th. What did I say? I looked it up just a minute ago in the in our bracket challenge out of like 350 people. So doing pretty good. Lutcher Will, what's up? Christian, feel like this team doesn't have an identity. When things don't go well, they don't have anything to fall back on. At what point do we accept the offense isn't what we assumed it would be? Well, I think the thing we can certainly say, Christian, is that the transfers have not performed, right? Caraway, Dardar, York, Simpson, the transfers you counted on to give you something offensively this year have not. That's fair. The flip side of it is we know Curiel and Milam and some of these guys who have performed at this level before can play better than they are. So if those guys get hot, which is certainly they're capable of, you remember you missed Stanfield for 16 games. So Stanfield's just getting back into the flow. Like your offense can certainly come around. And also like I can hat tip opposing pitching when it's good. So anyway. Yeah. Nancy, did we get a new hitting coach this year? Sorry, I had to reply to that. I mean, again, I'll say it again. Jay Johnson handles hitting, and then Wanaka Chief is the other coach that handles the offense. So, the second person that asked that, I don't know who you all are referring to. Does Guidry have eligibility after this year? Yeah, he could get last year back. Remember, he's a freshman in 23. So this is his fourth season, but he could, in theory, get a medical red shirt from last year. Hey, Gerald, good morning. Does Jay not see the issue with Curiel and play? I'm only going to guess that was a voice text with Curiel there. Absolutely, Jay knows the issue. But coaches can't go in the box and swing the bat. It's one of the things that's about like with coaching. In football, coaching matters in football more than any other sport because this is why I was so big on when Nick Saban left, how much of an effect that was going to have. And anybody say, oh, that's obvious now. What, nobody louder about that than me, and you all know it, okay? But every single play in football is trench warfare. There is strategy on both sides in every single play. It's a blower. In baseball, the coach can't execute the pitch. The coach can't field the ground ball. The coach can't step in the batter's box on a 3-1 pitch and hit a fastball. Like, all you can do is put your best lineup out there. And there's going to be moments where, and sometimes I do think this coaching staff overmanages. Like a lot of and Jay's very bullish on Mark Wanaka, thinks he's the best when it comes to defensive positioning. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Look, on Friday, we saw that happen. On one time, they had Caraway behind second base, boom, hit. It didn't even have to move on a line. And then the next hitter, when they had shifted, hitter went opposite and beat the shift. So, like, you won one, you lost one. I think they overmanaged that. That's just my opinion. I hate the shift. Whatever. But, like, of course they know the issue with Curiel at the plate. But you still can't go in the batter's box and hit for him. he has to take a different approach. And I'll tell you, I think this weekend, Curiel was better. You saw him going the other way. Look, he walked to lead off the game, and then Cerna homered. So he took a walk to lead off the game for LSU offensively. So I have noticed this week from Curiel more of the things that I think they're expecting of him, and hopefully more of that continues. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Ryan, good morning. I do like Omar at first.
What is that?
Michael Cook, good morning.
Below.
Starting to stretch his voice. That's not exactly true.
He,
Below, like on the ground ball, starting to stretch it. Like again, and by the way, you have options. Like yesterday, Yaman DH'd because Oklahoma's throwing a lefty. They wanted to get a righty in there. They put Yaman at DH and Cerna at first. Yaman could also play first. He's a guy that's played catcher, third, and first. So if you want that right-handed bat in the lineup against a lefty, Yaman could play first, and you could DH Cerna if you're going to catch Aaron Beatty. Like you have those options. I don't think you have a ton of great right-handed options coming off the bench. You have a lot of left-handed options off the bench. I'm not sure many of them you're really bullish on right now. Wild pitches, pass balls, best defensive catcher needs to play. Catchers cost runs every game. I completely agree with that. The best defensive catcher is playing. Kate Aaron Beatty is your best defensive catcher. They are thin there. There's no doubt. You have Aaron Beatty. Cerna is a freshman who's in a similar spot to Aaron Beatty a year ago. And then you have Yaman, who hasn't really caught in 2 years. So you are thin there. I want to bring this up, but that comment, if you want to turn back the clock, it's one of the reasons why I was very bullish on Alex Milazzo. Alex Milazzo was so steady behind the plate. He was a brick wall, and he was brilliant at stealing 6 to 8 strikes a game because of his ability to be still and frame pitches as a receiver. So because that's such a premium defensive position, I'd take a guy hitting 220 if I was going to get that performance behind the plate. But you don't have that guy, you know. As bad as it is, and as bad, you're 1-2 strike pitch in Nashville and a muff ground ball from a 4-2 record. And that's baseball. And the hope is, Richard, that those things even out over the course of a 30-game schedule, right? The hope is you end up stealing one you probably don't deserve to win. And so it balances that out. And it typically does. So we'll see. How do we keep missing on top catchers? I don't think they've missed on top catchers. I think Aaron Beatty and Cerna are both awesome. I just think one's a sophomore as a full-time starter for the first time. The other's a true freshman. You haven't missed. You're just counting on young guys who, no matter how elite you are, when you're in high school, you're not catching dudes coming 96 from the left side every day. You're catching high school pitchers. So it takes time to become comfortable with that. So I don't think they've missed. I think Aaron Beatty and Cerna are both awesome and both guys that have the potential to be big leaguers. They're just not great defensive catchers yet. What up, DH? Good morning. Lance, York doesn't stretch well, good footwork either. No, it's going to be so bad. I don't know if they had the number 1 portal class. I'll have to go back and check that. They had the number 1 high school class. And you're seeing it with some of these guys, right? Obviously. But yeah, York's not a good defensive first baseman. Like, I don't think that's, but it doesn't matter. Like, this was my point about Trey Morgan all those years. Like, first base is not a premium defensive position. It's not. Like, that's where you typically take a fat guy, put him, it's a bat, right? Take a fat, it's Cecil Fielder. Hey, look, stand on first base, catch the ball in club homers. Like, that's Sykes Orvis, Wes Ray. Look at all those guys throughout the SEC that are those guys, right? Who's a kid from Auburn a few years ago? It was a transfer from South Alabama. Who was that guy's name? Guy from Auburn. God dog it. Was he from South Alabama or was he from Samford? I think it was Samford. Okay, well, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
What is it?
Blow. Anyway, point is, I don't care that York isn't elite defensively at first. I care that on Friday he was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Like he's in there to hit, not to give you an elite glove at first.
What is it?
Hey, Ryan, didn't Milazzo prove, Jay, that the best defensive catcher needs to play? But he is. That's like, again, that's the problem. Like, he is your best defensive catcher. Aaron Beatty is your best defensive catcher. Whoever's evaluating coaching talent needs to be evaluated. Jesse, is a former first baseman. It's a vital position on the field. No, it's not. It's just, Jesse, it's just not. It's where it's where you hide a bat. First base is not a premium position. It's like in every other sport, like in football, what's vital? Center, nose tackle, middle linebacker, safety. Like right up the middle. Same thing in baseball. Catcher, middle infield, center field, like those are your premium positions. First base is not a premium position at all. It's literally why guys like Frank Thomas and Cecil Fielder Guerrero, like it's why those guys play first, because it's not a premium position. Like stand on first, catch the ball, club homers. It is not like that is an objective truth, Jesse. Like that is not even debatable. First base is not a premium defensive position at all. It's not. It's why I yell forever about Trey Morgan. It's why you see Trey Morgan playing a lot of outfield in the minors, because if you have a really athletic guy, you don't stick him at first base. It's where you can hide a bat. Tell the truth, Matt, you get all your baseball knowledge from Terry. Not true, actually. I have a lot of good friends that were high level baseball players, not just at LSU. I mean, Terry, of course, I love talking ball with Terry. I do learn a lot from him. But Terrio also doesn't, he's certainly not as plugged into like prospects, right? Like you'll see Miguel Syme, the kid who was the LSU signee who signed pro deal, and like he was throwing like 101 in a minor league game the other day. Like Ryan don't know who that guy is, which is okay, by the way. It's fine. But I love talking baseball with Ryan. I mean, he's a great resource. He knows a ton about hitting. Let's see. In your Locked On episode, will you go over the schedule for the media availability? Yeah, absolutely. Antonio, good morning. Turning the focus to spring ball. The biggest question you have for spring practice. I think biggest questions, defense, you're pretty much solidified. I would say offensively, what does the offensive line rotation look like? Do any receivers emerge? And how much do you get out of Sam Levitt? And if Levitt isn't participating very much, what does that battle look like with Landon Clark and Husan Longstreet? If you don't think baseball and luck doesn't matter, you don't know ball. That's Robbie, I'm sure Fernando Mendoza will likely be a Raider. I think he'll be a great pro. I feel Ty Simpson will be better. Okay. Ty Simpson was really good for a month last year and really, really bad in the last month last year. Maybe he'll end up being good. Like to see the Saints Bane. Cam Jordan's gonna be interesting, Robbie. That's it. Sonny DeShera. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. That was it. Cam doesn't have any suitors. That's obvious. He wants a multi-year deal, and he's not going to get it. So I think Cam could be back on a 1-year deal. Yep. I think July 1 is the day that I'm at the conference that I'm presenting. So So I was planning to fly up Tuesday, be at the conference Wednesday, and then fly home Thursday the 2nd. We all go without me, and I'll meet y'all there.
You could go the 3rd then.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your dates for out?
I just told you.
Well, I didn't. 1st through the 3rd? No, the 20.
June 30th. And then I'll come home on July 2nd. Problem is York isn't hitting. LSU's pro day is tomorrow. Yeah. Let's see. On the pod, you said you wanted to be the next Peter Jennings. Do you get tired of talking only sports? Would you follow it nearly as close if you weren't sports media? Cheers. So the interesting thing, Jordan, is I think we all have the right to change our mind, right? So when I was in journalism school, I wanted to do news. I love sports. I just didn't want to do sports as a career. And I did news for 5 years before I got into sports. And turns out I hated news. So, and since then, I have really disengaged. I do not follow current events very much. I'm not a political person. I know some of you don't believe that, but it's true. But and the reason, bud. Hey, bud. So the reason, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the reason I disengaged with all that is because I became so disenchanted when I was seeing how the sausage was made. But the thing about, I would tell you the big difference, Jordan, for me is there are sports that I really like to watch. For example, last night Eric and I watched the SEC gymnastics meet. I've become a big fan of the gym program. We never talk about the gymnastics team on the air because it's about, on air, there's an old radio adage, play the hits, right? You want to talk about the things that are the most scalable, that the most amount of people are going to be interested in. That's why I know we all get sick of it, but if you turn on the national shows, they're talking about the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Giants and the Jets and the Lakers and the Rams, right? Because they're talking about New York and LA because it's half the country. So it's New York, LA, Chicago. They'll talk about the biggest markets, Dallas, because they're trying to appeal to the most amount of people. That's why the Saints and the Pelicans never get talked about nationally. It's just the reality of it. So it's similar. Most every day, me doing a segment on AFR talking about a Saints top 30 visit with a safety from Penn State is going to do more numbers than me talking about the LSU women's basketball round of 32 game against Texas Tech. That's just a fact. Like, I've done this long enough to know. So what I would tell you, the difference is doing the job is different than fandom. And the hard part is, like, when I sit there and watch a baseball game, I'm not sitting there with a beer in my hand yelling at the screen, although sometimes I do that. I'm sitting there with a legal pad taking notes because I know that as soon as the game ends, I'm going to do a post-game show. And so I'm watching not necessarily just as an emotional fan. I'm watching with a critical eye to say, okay, what happened? Here's my takeaways, because I know how I'm positioning a show for the post-game. So you don't necessarily get to consume as a fan. Like, I always tell people, like, when you're in sports media, in some respects, you forfeit your fandom. I mean, I want my teams to win all the time, of course. Like, I love my teams. I want them to win. It's just watching the games. It's just a different experience as a media member than as a fan. So that's why I tend to be. I'll come back to it. That's why I tend to, when I'm watching games, I tend to be very passionate watching things that I don't cover as much on air because I can just be emotional. That's why I love MMA. Things like that. Hey, Jordan, anything new about Wade coming home? Same things that I've been hearing. But listen, the longer LSU goes without announcing they're keeping Matt McMahon, the longer that tells you that door is open, right? But I mean, what I know is what I've told y'all. There's a group of power brokers that want Will Wade back. There's certainly a group of boosters, LSU administrators that do not want to make a change. And you have this struggle. I think Will Wade would certainly come back if the right plan were in place. Some of those things he wanted, namely Heath Schroyer, the AD at McNeese, coming over to be an athletic administrator, like an associate AD at LSU. That's not happened yet, although some of those power brokers have been pushing Verge to make that hire. Verge hasn't done it. Like, Will's not going to leave NC State without certain things in place. And those certain things are not in place yet. However, they could end up being in place. So. Hey, Marianne, thoughts on LSU women's basketball? Yeah, I think they're great. And I think it's pretty much what it's been since Kim's been here. They have a really talented team. A lot of it's about draw, and we'll see if they can play their best on the right day and make a run to another championship. Education. Erica, can Drew go on Dad Show and take it? Leslie, good morning. Jeff, what happened with Pulmonary, South Carolina? Some bad injury, misfortune. Last year, they really didn't have the resources to go build him a roster. This year, they did take 20-some-odd guys via the portal. They lost their Friday night guy due to injury, but even still, they just weren't competitive. Ready for football. Hope Kiffin gives y'all some decent access. I'm not banking on that. Let's see. You trying to watch Steven? There you go. There you go. Okay. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm about to get out of here. Head to church. Facebook, like the page, share the post. Sponsors linked in the description on YouTube. Y'all got any more fire? I got a few more minutes left before I got to go. Remember, Brock, the After Hours Clinic, always open nights and weekends. No appointment necessary. Walk-ins welcome. Parish, we'd love to help you out. Free, no obligation roofing inspection. Parishbuilt.com. Parishbuilt.com. Unique Physique, Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. Remember, that's GLP-1s at Unique Physique, semaglutide, tirzepatide. Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. It's where women can do your HRT there. And they have all the aesthetic services, but $8 unit Botox, laser therapies, hair removals, facials, body contouring, all that stuff. Restored Motions. I need to go see Crystal. It's been a minute. Restoredmotions.com. You got pain. Book a session with Crystal Poche. You'll be glad you did. And of course, Bocock Brothers, premium cigars, code MAT15, 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 15% off your order. The question about Kiffin access. I'm not banking on it. His policy is that he does not allow assistants to do interviews. So I'm not guessing we'll get much access to assistant coaches. During his time at Ole Miss, he did not give a ton of practice access. I think what everyone is going to learn is how much of an outlier Brian Kelly was in that respect, giving us the access he did, letting us watch full practices and full contact periods and scrimmage session like 11 on 11. Nobody gets to watch that stuff. So the last, 4 seasons with Kelly, very much an outlier. And my guess is we probably revert to what we had before then. Here's 15 minutes of warm-ups. And if you want to get information, you better have good sources who can tell you things. So we'll see. Hey, Matt, good morning. Who are the players JJ wanted, didn't get, had to bargain basement shop with, was due to money? Yes. I mean, the players that they missed took better deals elsewhere. And it's not new this year. I mean, remember when Maui Ahuna went to Tennessee, Vaheva Loy went to Arkansas? I mean, who's a pitcher from Wake Forest that went to Tennessee? There's another lefty. I think it was a lefty that went to Ole Miss. It was last year, the East Carolina pitcher transferred. Zach Root was the East Carolina pitcher who transferred to Arkansas last year. LSU wanted him. There's been a lot of top-tier transfers that LSU's wanted and not gotten. And so they've sort of gone bargain bin shopping with small school guys where they think they see a skill set that they like. For example, Simpson, York, to a degree, I guess you would say Caraway, but Caraway's Oregon State. Dardar. So, anyway, all right. I had to go. Matt, do you think Saints draft quarterback in the later rounds? I do not, Robbie. I think the only way that would happen maybe is if they traded Spencer Rattler, which doesn't seem like they're super interested in doing. All right, last one. Boys are closer to success what most baseball fans are thinking, as long as Cooper Moore will come back soon. Looks like Moore's out a month. That is a real bummer. So, all right, I got to get going, y'all. I'm going to go to church. I'll say prayers for all of you. Hopefully you'll do the same for me. And have an awesome day. Enjoy your Sunday. Remember, all of our sponsors linked in the description on YouTube. Please smash the like button on YouTube.